Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Let's Practice Cursive. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. This weekend was quite productive for me and very interesting as well. First I spent the weekend making a video for the Instagram, and it will be released on YouTube in a little bit. It will be a part of the last compilation in the Business Handwriting series. It will be the letters U through Z. So yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, it was Saturday, I had time to make that video, and so I made it. And because you're here on the live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that in a little bit here. The other thing that happened that was really interesting this weekend was I started doing some research on the history of penmanship in the United States, and I don't remember how I decided. I think it was the Discord channel. There was something going on in the Discord. We were discussing resources, and one thing led to another, and then I started watching Joe Vitolo's old videos from the Iampith website and the Inside the Penman Studio, where he's sitting down with all these great penmen from Iampith, the master penman, and he's discussing with them things related to penmanship. And Michael Soul in particular was talking about some of the people that he learned from, and the whole thing was really interesting to me because I hadn't realized that penmanship, or the word penmanship, or what American penmanship was so separated from what is going on in the rest of the calligraphy world, and that the American penmen did not consider themselves at all calligraphers. They were penmen, which was something different. And so I think that's really interesting. And listening to that history and listening to this uniquely American history, and oddly, for the first time in my life, I felt patriotic and proud to be an American. It was the weirdest sensation. I actually had this sensation that of pride for who I was as an American and what I was doing. More importantly, I guess tied to that is as somebody who's enthusiastic about handwriting, about penmanship, and hopes to advocate for it throughout my life. So it gave me a new perspective on what I was doing and added value to that. So I'm really excited for the future and what's to come with this whole world of penmanship. But thank you for joining me so much. I really appreciate your guys' time. I don't take it for granted. And the simple fact that you're here interested in what I'm doing with a pen on paper and hopefully benefiting from that as well, I think is a really big deal. So today is a Monday, and we're going to do some left-handed penmanship. So Monday, Wednesdays, we do left-handed writing. Tuesday, Thursdays, we do right-handed writing. And Fridays, we leave open for special topics so that we can do stuff that is unexpected. Like write with both hands at the same time or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe we can hold specific topic requests for Friday or something. Last Friday we talked about letter heights, and that's another thing that I learned over the weekend. I learned more about over the weekend, I should say. So this sample here, you can see it. This is from the video that I'm going to show you here in a little bit. So since I'm talking about letter heights, just to show you the height, this is a dime, so it's pretty small writing. And I was listening to Michael Soul talk in that same little interview seminar thing that I was watching on the history, and he was talking about letter heights again, and he said that the standard letter height is 1/16 of an inch compared to the 1/8 that I had said in that last video. He said that apparently the 1/8 is where the novice begins. So I think this is about a 1 1/8 of an inch. I just had a ruler. I don't know where it went. If I see the ruler, I'm going to pull it out. There it is. Okay, so this is about, yeah, these letters are about 1/8 of an inch high. So this would be the novice, and I do consider myself a novice, but that's the smaller end of, or sorry, the bigger end of the writing, and we should be cutting all those lowercase letters in half. They should be 1/16 of an inch tall. And so I think I had taken a photo and tried to show it, show that the height is a certain height. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. I didn't prepare that. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and play this video, and while that's playing, I'll go ahead and take a look here and see if I could show you the other photo that I took of the letter U. I think I might have thrown those samples away already. But okay, here, this is the video that I made for the Instagram. It's just a little video showing how I made this sample right here, and some slowed down writing and some real-time writing. So I'm going to go ahead and play that right now. Okay, I'm hoping you guys could hear the volume on that video. I can't hear the volume. I'm not connected to that, so I don't know if you guys heard the volume, but I hope that you did. It's just a scratchy nib against some paper, and it sounds kind of nice. I found the image. This is the image I was talking about, but basically it's just an image of my handwriting, and here's the ruler. So you can see I'm getting close to that that 1/16 of a height. Here we're about 3/32. So where the capital is 1/4 of an inch tall. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I've been thinking about and working on with my dominant hand, my right-handed penmanship. And the reason I bring this up also is because last week we had a question about writing on college-ruled paper and how this individual could go about effectively writing without ascenders and descenders colliding. So I was looking at the college-ruled paper, and the college-ruled paper is approximately 5/16 of an inch high. So if your standard writing is 1/16 high and your ascender is triple that, so that would make it 3/16 high, that would leave you 2/16 at the top of the page, or at the top of the line, I should say, to drop any sort of descenders. So descenders will take the 1/16, which is the lower case height, plus 2/16 below the baseline, which would also equal to, the same height of the ascenders at 3/16. So just some technical details about writing small on lined paper in this technique of whole arm movement and muscular movement writing. So I've already did a little warm up here, but we're going to just continue what we're doing with the left hand today. And the other thing I wanted to do is put on a little music, because last time you guys said you enjoyed the music. So I'm just going to go ahead, hit play on that. And if the music's too loud at all, You're going to have to let me know. I can't hear it. I'm not really the biggest fan of hearing the music while I write, but I know you guys enjoy it. So, today we're getting into some left-handed penmanship. So what I was thinking about doing as well with the left-handed series is following some of the drills that are given here in the Palmer method of business handwriting. So one of the first ones, after we talk about all the positioning, because he doesn't go into left-handed positioning at all from what I recall. He does show you how to hold the pen though. This might be useful for some of you. Muscular action. So this is the part of your arm that's touching the table. With the left hand, of course, all of this is slightly different, but the same concepts. So this is positioning of the paper for right-handed individuals on a front-facing desk and on a side desk. But this is some of the drills. So drill 1 are these slant drills and also compact ovals with the slants inside. So go ahead and get into some of that. You can also see that on his paper it's significantly larger, the drills, so he's looking at about 4 times the height of these. So why don't we go ahead and give that a try and see if we can reach the edges of our range of motion here. I think I might be happy with just 3 lines actually. Another thing that I know he talks about in here is counting. So when you count, you kind of bring order to all of it, and penmanship tends to be a very rhythmic exercise, and so when you count, you can create a sense of rhythm in your writing. So I think he says that there should be 50 a cluster for a total of 200 across the line. We're not going to be able to hit that level of finesse here with the left hand. I can guarantee that, but we can strive towards it. So I hope the movement camera here can show you a bit of my positioning as a left-hander and how I'm doing the whole arm movements. It's starting to feel more comfortable. I'm beginning to feel it a little more natural here towards the end. We're gonna go ahead and try some ovals. I remember that the standard oval rotation, which is a counterclockwise direction, it's the first rotation that's recommended in this book. It's actually quite difficult as a left-hander because it's the rotation on the socket is actually opposite to what feels more comfortable on my left or my right arm. So it's a little bit more challenging for that reason. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do 10 ovals, and then we're going to follow that with 10 slants within that to see if our slant is on point. Alrighty. Another thing that I've noticed that with my left hand, my ovals tend to be much more stout. They get wide in the center rather than compact and long towards the top and bottom. So it's something, and I think it has something to do with the rotation where the pushing up motion isn't as drastic, or it's not as strong of a motion intuitively. So I really have to force myself to be long on the ups and short on the sides. That's the wrong rotation. See, that feels more natural for some reason. Should be going the other way around though. So something that's also interesting in the Palmer method is he talks about how to get your shapes correctly and some of the kind of auto suggestion techniques that you can use to help you get that correctly. So he says as you're doing your ovals and you see that they're either too flat or too wide, that you can tell yourself rounder, and that's going to create rounder ovals in your action, and it's kind of interesting because it's kind of like a psychological thing where you're suggesting to yourself that you want this thing. So I find that quite interesting, that he even mentioned that kind of technique, because I feel as if I kind of do that already, not necessarily with handwriting in particular, but with other things. If I want other things in my life, I will say them to myself that, I want this thing, or hit the bullseye if you're playing darts kind of thing. You kind of almost amping yourself up, you're coaching yourself to successfully hitting the mark. So the next drill he shows in his book is this extremely long compact oval, and I think he says something like 200 ovals in a single dip of ink. So in this book also, he's emphasizing to a very high degree speed. He wants things to be quick because ultimately the people who were learning from this book were going to grow up and work in businesses creating documents by hand. And so you wanted to have a proficient handwriting so that you could write quickly, you could write consistently, and be effective with your time creating documents or whatever have you. And back then handwriting was depended on for business. And the other thing is that he was competing with the typewriter at the time. It was an up-and-coming technology, and so you needed to be able to write more quickly than people could type. That was the incentive. So we'll go ahead and just do a line of ovals, and we'll also do a line of slant drills. And we're going to stick to that 3-line height here. So I'm actually quite happy with that result. It's a little more than I expected. I was using some of those auto suggestion techniques. I don't know if you could tell. And then he has another oval here. We'll go ahead and do one more line of ovals. And again, we're going to do that counterclockwise rotation because we see it more as a challenge. Right now feels a little less natural. Okay, so I can already feel that my left hand has made some pretty significant progress in this little session. Counterclockwise ovals have improved quite a bit. You kind of look. This is where we started off at the very beginning. This were some of the first attempts going larger, and this is kind of where we ended off. And maybe it's hard to tell the difference, but I can tell. And I think that's what's most important for progress. So then after you do these kind of drills and you're reading the philosophy and everything behind them, you go into writing 3 different words, and those words probably finish off with those here. Might get another sheet and keep going, but let's see. The first one is the word mine. So now the idea is you're trying to apply some of these movements. So you've done these big movements, and now they're going to apply to letters. First one is mine. Second word is uses. See if we can do one more here. A little better. I was watching John DeColobus write, and he's one of the master penmen from my Ampith, and he buckles his finger like this on his left hand also. So maybe I don't need to necessarily correct it, and just be aware of not putting too much pressure and tensing up the hand. But he's a left-hander, and he's an amazing calligrapher. If you've never heard of him, John DeColobus, you can check him out. But left-handed penman, really amazing. really amazing stuff comes from him. Okay, let's go ahead and get another sheet of paper. So we're working on college ruled paper out of a composition book. And I always tear my sheets out of the paper, or out of the booklet, excuse me, because the booklet itself has a little bit of height on it, and so that is distracting for the whole arm motion. So if you're practicing whole arm movement and you're really trying to get it down, you need to work on sheets flat on the table. You don't want to have a booklet there in the way, because that's not going to add to your writing experience. So we're just going to continue working on these three words: mine, uses, and sell. So you can see that my left hand is staying where it is and my right hand is helping me move the paper across the writing zone. And this collaboration between hands is really important. So if you're somebody who is interested in ambidexterity, this is one of those secrets that often goes unnoticed in that arena of development. But the two hands are always working together. Even when your dominant hand is doing something, the left hand is there playing some kind of role as the assistant to the right hand. the S's, when I first started writing with the left hand forward, they're still a challenge, but they're becoming less so a challenge. And something that I look for when I'm having a hard time with a particular letter and using whole arm movement to execute it is kind of the rhythm and the flow, and whether or not there's a swinging or any of those different types of motions. So I've noticed here with the S, you kind of have that upstroke, but it swings here, and so you can fine-tune that movement in order to create a little more consistency, and then it becomes a very tactile thing as well. So I'm not necessarily seeing as much or looking as much at the writing, but I'm feeling the writing because it's a movement thing. So that's how I sometimes dissect things and try to understand them better. It's hard to put into words because it's a very sensual thing. Wow, that's the best double L I've done left-handed. See it right there. It's the best one. Gotta stay on the line. Backwards. That's something that happens sometimes with my left hand. I'll switch over to right backwards. Hi Sukma. I didn't expect you to do a live stream today. I'm doing it, yeah, Monday through Friday. So I'll be here Monday through Friday. Thanks for joining me. We're working on the left-handed whole arm movement today.
Maraschino cherries, major run. No one had a run like Limes. No one.
I guess I forgot this is Monday. I thought it is still Sunday. Long holiday. That sounds nice. Sounds like you had a good weekend then. really starting to feel my left hand build up in proficiency. Sukma, let's see what you've said. I've watched your videos quite a lot, except the live stream I missed, and probably missing it, but I don't know. Are you originally left-handed, right-handed, or from start is an ambidexter? This is the one question I've been holding on so long. Haven't found the answer yet. So I'm naturally a right-handed person. In 2012, May 28th, 2012, I started writing with my left hand. And I pretty exclusively wrote with my left hand backwards. So what we're doing here is we're investigating left-handed forward writing. Here's an example of my left-handed backwards writing. So my left hand has been writing backwards since 2012. And this is what I call mirror writing. Yeah, this is mirror handwriting. So Da Vinci used to write in mirror image as well. So, and then here, I don't really focus on forward handwriting with my left hand, but I know that there's a need for somebody to really kind of develop a system around left-handed writing. I've met a lot of left-handers working and studying in an art department. I don't know why there's so many left-handers there, but a lot of them, because there's no formal system and there's not a majority of instructors teaching any left-handed writing. They're all developing their own ways, and so I found so many different styles of holding the pen and writing coming from left-handers. So I think it's a need that needs to be filled. So that's why I'm investigating the left-handed forward writing now. Let's see. Yeah, if I had a mirror or a light or something, I could show you that it's actually quite legible forward. I think my left-handed backwards writing is sometimes even better than my right-handed forward writing. So let's go ahead. I'm going to continue here with cell. Yeah, I talk a little bit about the ambidexterity and why I write with both hands in a video called, it's a practical penmanship video, and I think it's just practical penmanship : ambidexterity. And that one specifically, I tell a little bit of my story as to why I write with both hands, and then also some of the science behind it, why doing things in an ambidextrous fashion can actually accelerate your ability within any sort of technical skill. So, something to look into, in my opinion. Oh, that was pretty good. Pretty good with the left hand. Proud of that. The only thing is that my L's are too tall compared to my lowercase E's and S's here. Those should be a little shorter. Gets difficult writing towards the end here at the bottom, so I just flip the paper around and keep writing. No, not backwards. See, I have such an inclination with my left hand to write backwards. All right, we're coming to the end of the paper. And so that means with the music just having finished, we are past our hour mark. So we're going to be concluding here. But there's something about handwriting. Ugh. It's just so addicting. Sometimes I don't want to stop. I'm having a hard time hitting those loops on the E's. We'll give it one more try. One loop down. There's an opening there, I can see it. And it's the faintest of openings, but there's some light coming through there. Let's see. See it? There's a little bit of white in between that loop. Very little. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Tomorrow we will be practicing some right-handed penmanship. Today we did all left hand, and I'm actually really impressed with my progress today with the left hand. You know, I took the weekend off and I worked on that video for the Instagram, and yeah, I was just focusing on the right hand this weekend, so I think a couple of days off from the left hand to jump back into it, and it's good. I've noticed that breaks often result in a lot of progress. It's like internally your neurological system is taking in everything that you've thrown at it over the last couple hours of practice or whatever it may be. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be working on right-handed penmanship. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you practice along with me in this session today, make sure to join the Discord and drop your handwriting samples in the channel titled Writing Samples. We also have some handwriting resources in there, and I think I tagged one of the videos I was watching of Michael Soul talk about some of the history of American penmanship that I spoke about earlier in the stream. So if you want to watch any of that, I think it's all up in the Discord, and an invitation link to the Discord should be in the description. So make sure to check out the description. There's a bunch of other videos in there regarding some penmanship. I have my practical penmanship series, which is like 10 or 12 videos, and some aesthetic things with the beautiful things written with beautiful pens, that series. So if you guys want to watch any more videos, you can go down to the description. Other than that, we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you again so much for joining me. Take care, everyone.